Pure Boys Podcast. You open your app, then listen to us, yeah. On and on and on, talking Christian movies, 'cause it's just the Pure Boys Podcast. Pure Boys Podcast. Pure Boys Podcast. Happy Easter, you filthy animals. It's Pure Boys Easter special, I guess, and that we're talking about an Easter movie.
Get your chocolate bunnies out and your Jesus crucifixes.
That's right.
And let's party.
Take those bunnies off the cross and eat them. We're talking about classic Easter movies. Get out your Weird Al copy of Eat It and get ready to talk about a classic Easter movie. This week, we're talking about the 2011 Scott Eastwood classic, The Lion of Judah. It's an animated movie, a children's CGI animated movie. What a treat.
Yeah, crucifixion with an animated twist. How could it go wrong?
Right? Yeah. Well, no blood. A bit of a bloody palm at one point, but nothing too serious.
You had a bloody palm.
No, Jesus had a bloody palm. He had a little. He had. You see a half a second of a hole in his hand, and that's about all you get.
Would you ever get the crucifixion tattoo on your hand?
Stigmata tattoos?
Yeah, for a laugh.
I mean, I just pray that I got stigmata for real, and then just like get the scars and be like, yeah, I got the scars to match. It's all good.
That's a great AA meeting.
When I was a kid, there was that movie Stigmata. Did you ever hear about that movie?
It sounds familiar, but I have no idea what it is. I stayed away from scary movies.
That's the thing. That I never saw it because I was too afraid to see it. Like the concept of it scared me too much. Like that's how freaking religious my like how I was growing up. I was scared to watch the movie Stigmata because I was like, it might happen. I could wake up with the wounds of Christ.
So you were a smart kid. Because it might happen.
I was a smart kid. We should review Stigmata on the show. It's religious. It's about religion.
Yeah.
All right.
What is it?
It's a horror movie, I think. I don't know. I've never seen it. But it's like a horror movie, I think, about someone who gets stigmata. And then it's like other stuff presumably happens. Damn, we should have done that today. That's an Easter classic.
Yeah, but this really leads into it. I mean, then we could do it next year.
That's true. Yeah, you can't put the cart before the horse or the donkey before the pig who he's tied to.
Yeah, you got it.
I got it. I know things. But before we get into any of that, we have to start like we start all episodes with the Pure Boys prayer. God bless our podcast. God bless all podcasts. I love you. Perfect. Really, really great. We really dialed it in. It makes me so happy whenever we nail it like that.
I was kind of hoping we would flub it since it's so early in the morning. Ooh. Early podcast record.
Yeah, we decided to record really early this morning, like 7 a.m. early, just to see what it was like. And it turns out our heads are thick. It's hard to wake up when it's hard to think when it's hard. It's hard.
I feel like going to sleep. I want to sleep right now.
I'm with you. I'm a little tuckered.
And not be awake. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Oh, well, whatever. Hey, we're already doing it. So, and if this episode sucks, we'll just record an episode about Stigmata and never release this one. And no one will ever know.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds like a perfect use of our time.
That does sound great. Yeah. But I guess before we get too deep into any of the stuff we have to do in this episode, what's your relationship with Easter? What do you know about Easter, big fella?
I would go up to my grandmama's, and my cousins would be there, and we'd all be frolicking in this, the April snow.
Yes, of course. Where we live, there's always snow in April. Yeah, none of it.
Yeah, which sledding was awesome because she lived right near a hill.
Nice.
But I just remember chocolate. My family wasn't religious. We didn't really go to church or anything. And there'd be toys, and it'd be like Christmas, but with chocolate.
Nice. That's pretty dope.
How about you?
Oh, well, my family was religious, and I was religious as frick, and so we went to Easter Mass, and like we'd pass around a giant cross at church, and it was like
A
this
giant cross?
a giant cross, like, and everyone had to touch it. It was like a thing where like you'd pass or you'd like crowd surf across all through the church, and like everyone touched it, and you'd get the like palms, you'd twist them up into all kinds of shapes, and what other kinds of stuff do we do? There was like you'd get ashes on your head.
Like
yeah.
human palms?
No, like what's that? Like a palm frond, like the stuff they throw on the ground when Jesus is riding that donkey. You get those.
Oh,
you dehydrate them,
you.
and you twist them up into like shapes. You twist them up into like a little bun, and that's
what did that represent?
Oh, I don't know. I've done all the stuff. I've been, baptized. I've been first communioned. I've been whatever the third one is. I did them all. It's too early to remember what that one is. Confirmation.
I got baptized.
Oh.
And I got confirmed.
Oh, so you
I
weren't allowed to get communion.
Yeah, I never had to do the legwork.
That's too bad. Communion was the best part. You get to get up, walk around at church, and then you get to shake everyone's hand.
I've ate the body of Christ.
Have you drank his blood, though?
Yeah.
Why did his blood always taste so bad? At least at my church, his blood tasted terrible. It was like the worst white wine ever.
They use white wine. Aren't you supposed to use red?
I mean, you'd think so. I'd imagine so, but my church used white wine. It was awful. It was like so dry. Yeah. Give me a Riesling.
There are two colors of wine. One is blood colored and one is not blood colored. Why would you go with the white wine?
Probably cheaper. They probably had a cheaper hookup for white wine. God, my church
probably goes
so
better
cheap.
with fish.
Probably goes better with dry bread.
What was this cross like? Was it bloodied?
No, it was just like two 4x4, no, bigger than that, 6x6s, just nailed together, just a big frigger of a cross that was heavy.
This seems like the complete opposite of my Easter experience.
The amount of times that I actively participated in a Stations of the Cross act out, or like a little program for church every year. I did so many Easter things. It was outrageous. I was never Jesus, because I was a little tubby boy, and they're like, Jesus can't be a little fat boy with glasses. That would look ridiculous. He can't be that. But
he did construction.
Yeah, exactly. He was a hardworking man. He had calluses on his hands. I didn't. I played PlayStation. I didn't have anything. But we did. God, my youth group one year, we did this thing. I was just thinking about this while I was watching the show. We did a whole production of this. There's this song called Watch the Lamb, which is like a 7-minute song about a dad taking his sons to Jerusalem to watch the Lamb, aka Jesus. But then it all goes wrong because they see him get crucified. They go there to celebrate him, and instead they watch him get murdered. And so my youth group did a whole production of it where I was the dad, and then these two Filipino boys were my sons, and we were modern. We wore modern garb, and then we acted out the song. Exactly. We wore our clothes backwards, and we the song played, and we acted out everything that was happening in it. And I had a camera, and I forced the church to buy me 10 disposable cameras, even though I didn't need to. One would have been, I didn't have to actually take pictures, but I insisted they spend $150 on cameras for me. And so I wore a Hawaiian shirt and walked around doing stuff and hamming it up. And then we toured elementary schools in my area. We took it on the road and went to performed it in front of kids all over the city. Such a ridiculous thing. You
guys got a bit of a Jesus complex over it.
Bruh, we were I was deep in the paint with Christ for a while there. Very deep. Oh,
yeah, still wearing the Hawaiian shirts whenever you could, though.
Yeah, of course. The doy. That's how I show my love for Jesus. But yeah, if you ever get a chance, look up Watch the Lamb on YouTube, and it's just like, it's such a dumb song. It's like, and all the comments are like, this song is so blessed. It made me feel so amazing. Like, thank you, Jesus, for your sacrifice. It's like, walking on the road to Jerusalem. This is like really somber, serious song.
I thought it was super sexy the way you were singing it.
Oh, well, yeah, for sure. That was my Bruce Springsteen impression.
The boss.
The boss. Yeah,
Bruce.
you bet. Frick, what else, man? I don't know. Easter. Oh, but then, like, I should also say, we also did all the chocolates and stuff. Like, we did all the fun Easter stuff. My mom would, like, write us notes from the Easter Bunny every year. But the way she wrote them, the Easter Bunny had, like, a lisp, and he was, like, an idiot. So, like, I just imagine the Easter Bunny as this like bumbling doofus who just tripped over furniture, like a real dead John Ritter. Like, he was like an alive John Ritter, tripping over furniture, falling around.
I mean, Mr. Magoo might be more apt, but bringing up dead John Ritter every time is probably the best course of action.
I don't even know why I bring that up. I feel like maybe he was clumsy on Three's Company, but that's the connection I make.
So.
I think he wasn't he a bit of a goofball?
He was the suave guy who was taking two ladies at one time.
FLIX, hit us up. Give us that sponsorship.
Yeah, well, I mean, Three's Company was a Christian show.
That's
they
true.
prayed every morning.
Their theme song was Watch the Lamb. That's how it went. What else? I guess that's it for Easter talk. I don't know. Whatever. Easter's fine.
Yeah.
We ate chocolate.
Easter egg humps.
Yeah. The chocolate was the best part of Easter. Not touching that cross. Eating that chocolate.
Me picturing you touching that cross and like 50 other people in that church.
Oh,
probably
no.
Like 10 now.
Oh, no. Like 600 people in that church. Like, Easter services they would fill the church with people, and then they would fill the lobby with people, and they would fill the basement with people that would watch the mass on a closed circuit television that was like live streaming from the main auditorium. It was big.
Well, as everybody knows, we're in Becca's Haiti.
That's right.
And Christianity is very popular up in this B.
Oh, yeah. Especially after that earthquake. All those missionaries came in and just forced us to love Jesus. It was worth it.
Yeah, now we have a morning show.
Exactly, yeah. Good morning, Haiti. People won't get that reference for 3 weeks.
No, we're starting the reference.
Oh, okay, great. This is the OG version of it.
Yeah. I hate that idea.
I hate that idea too. Before we even get to the next segment, we're not like listeners, we're chewing up time talking about Easter and stuff like that, but this movie is like whatever. So we're chewing up time. I got a shirt to show you. I bought a shirt that I'm gonna wear, not today, but in general, it's a new shirt I'm gonna wear like all the time. It's my new favorite shirt. My wife hates it with like a burning passion. She really hates this shirt. So
you know you made a good purchase though.
Oh yeah, like she was talking divorce when I showed her it, and she was like, you're not allowed to wear that. And her reasoning was like, you don't have to look at it when you wear it. I have to look at it. And I was like, so? Like, that's not a sacrifice.
That's a better point than most though.
True. Yeah. I mean, she does have to look at it all the time. And when you see it, you'll understand. So, God, it's such a great shirt. Okay. I'll move the mic away so you can see it. And here it is.
Okay. He's showing me. And it's Jesus on the cross, and it says, "Born to die." It's a very, that you might live.
Yeah. Born to die, that you might live. And then on the back, the back is my favorite part of it.
Worship the best, Matthew. Heavenly divine son in a Harley Davidson-esque, or die like the rest.
Yeah, worship the best or die like the rest. Such an awesome shirt. Listeners, I'll post pictures of it on our Twitter. Look on our Twitter. You'll see, I'll post some pictures of what this shirt looks like, and you'll get the full experience. But yeah, it's awesome.
It's definitely an experience. You should definitely wear that on a flight.
and refuse to wear a mask.
Well, I mean, why go on a flight until everybody's vaccinated?
True.
Every single one.
That's true. What I love about this shirt is that it's definitely, like you said, kind of taking inspiration from like Harley Davidson and like Harley Davidson gear. So it's like, you want to be a tough biker, but you want to love the Lord. it's such like silly message it's sending.
Which is a lot of people.
Oh yeah, for sure it is. There's a big crossover. Cross.
Man, that is a perfect Easter treat.
That shirt, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Born to die, that you might live. And on the front of it is just a bloody Jesus, like just a real crucified Jesus, crown of thorns, the whole works.
A respectable amount of blood for the crucifixion, though.
Yeah, that's true. We're not talking passion levels of blood. We're talking just like standard, somewhere in between Judah the Lion and the Passion of the Christ, right? Smack dab in the middle.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was going with that.
The movie's called The Lion of Judah, too. I keep calling it Judah the Lion because the main character's name is Judah, and he's a lamb pretending to be a lion. Why would they call it The Lion of Judah if the character is Judah pretending to be a lion? It doesn't make any sense. Judah's not a thing other than a person in this.
Apparently, the Lion of Judah is a thing. It's like
it's Jesus.
It's a phrase for Jesus?
Well, yeah, of course, everything's Jesus.
Everything is Jesus.
Jesus has got a million nicknames. The Son of God.
Your shirt is Jesus.
My shirt is Jesus. That's a shirt.
That's a shirt.
Let's make a shirt, sell it on our store. My shirt is Jesus.
Matthew 3:16.
Don't frick your son. Don't frick your son of God. There it is.
Yeah. Unless you think he's your son.
Well, yeah. If you kiss your son, you might find out you like men, and you don't want to. You don't want to take that risk.
I love men.
Me too.
Yeah, men are great.
Men are great.
Except for they're kind of the worst.
No, name one way.
Benjamin Franklin.
Ooh, Benj Franklin. Yeah. That's the guy who tied a kite to a string and a key to the string.
I think he invented the light.
That's Thomas Edison. No, maybe that is Benjamin Franklin discovered electricity. I don't think he invented the light bulb.
Didn't he discover like Guadalupe or something?
He discovered guacamole. He was the first person to mash avocados and put some salt in them and some lemon juice and go, this is pretty good, actually.
Yeah, BJ invented guacamole. I call him BJ. That's why the mix-up.
That makes sense. Yeah. He invented guacamole, but tortilla chips hadn't been invented yet, so he just ate it with his hands like a wild animal. Yeah. They didn't have forks.
And they didn't know how to wash their hands back then, so he just like walked around with guacamole all over his hands, and people thought he had like scurvy or something.
Leprosy. They put him on an island.
Yeah. And that's how Benjamin Franklin died.
That's right. Isn't it funny how some religions are like, your one hand is dirty because that's the hand you wipe your bum with? That's a funny thing.
People didn't have washing technology back then. It was probably true.
They didn't have soap, that's for damn sure.
You mean they didn't turn human fat into soap yet?
No, they hadn't found out. They hadn't discovered the term render yet.
So true. Those dumb pasties.
Right? Get it together, pasties. Hey, one day someone will be saying that about us. Those dumb pasties making podcasts. Ugh.
And I hope they do. Hopefully society doesn't revert in on itself and become dumb Dugans.
Well, I mean, that is what's going to happen, but that doesn't matter.
Maybe we'll be the smart pasties.
Maybe that's true. Maybe after the rapture happens, they'll be listening back to this podcast, going, "These dumb pasties acting like making fun of Jesus and stuff like that." Like he came back. He came back and he machine gunned his enemies and he brought everyone up to heaven. He machine gunned Kelly'd his enemies.
Yeah, how blessed would we all be if we got to experience the rapture? I mean,
How dope would it be if like we got a pass for the rapture because of this podcast? If Jesus was like, "I love the Pure Boys, and thank you. You know, I know you guys wherever you land on your faith is one thing, but you made this amazing show that, crumpled a lot of people and led them to the Lord, so you get that free pass up into heaven.
Yeah, this is a form of prayer, and we're praying to him, and we love you.
Exactly. We love you. Go hang out with John Bon Jovi up in heaven.
Yeah, Mr. Bovine Joni himself.
Exactly. All right, should we get into the show 20 minutes into it?
No, we should tweet it up.
All right, let's tweet it up. Let's hit it up. It's time for everyone's favorite segment, except, all right, there it is.
Kevin Sorbo, Tweet of the
I had
Week.
more to say, but there it is. Oh, hang on, I got to turn it down.
You don't have to hit the button.
No, I didn't close it after the last time I opened it, so it just started.
Was that divine intervention?
I think that was divine intervention, because I was going to talk some S about old Kevin S. So God stepped in and said, "Don't, my son.
Yeah.
This man's your bread and butter. One day you will work with him on a movie for FLIX. You don't want him to know that you talked to S about him on your show."
This guy's definitely our butter. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go with the tweet of the week.
Yeah.
Wearing a mask when you're driving alone is like wearing a condom in bed by yourself. Which is true, and are we not supposed to be wearing condoms when we go to bed?
I think you're supposed to be wearing condoms while you drive.
Yeah?
Yeah. Haven't you ever seen the movie Crash? What if you get, all turned on?
Yeah, what if you accidentally nut?
Yeah, what if you crash your car and get horribly mangled and then want a nut?
Yeah, God is not going to accept you into his kingdom if you have just, nut all over your sack.
Exactly. And, if you break your arms in that car crash, you can't put that condom on before you nut, so what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You got to wear one while you drive.
Exactly. And K-Source, what are you doing thinking about condoms? You're like an 80-year-old man.
Right? You haven't worn a condom ever.
Yeah.
You are
the jump.
You put the raw in raw dog.
Second time in a row, Raw Dog has come up on the podcast.
That's right. Well, not in a row, because the last reference that we had to it will be 3 weeks from now. But
I don't give a piss about our listeners.
I don't care about continuity or any of that stuff.
Get it out of here.
So what do you think about that tweet? What do you think about Kevin's statement?
I think there's a bunch of replies after it giving good reasons for wearing a mask alone in the car.
Yeah, well,
and he should shut the hell up.
You're not supposed to touch it. Once you put it on, you're supposed to, leave it on and not touch it. So you put it on before you get in the car. Then you're good.
Instead of taking one off, I just put another one on.
Exactly. Yeah, condoms you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of taking one off, I am wearing every condom I've ever worn, which is 1.
3.
Oh, okay. Well, we lead different lives.
Yeah. Are you washing? Do you put yourself in the shower with your condom on?
Yeah, but I'm I wear I make sure to put a plastic bag around it so it doesn't get wet and dissolve.
I think you meant a pasta bag.
I did mean a pasta bag. You're absolutely right. I put one rotini over it so it doesn't dissolve.
Rotini to me, baby.
You bet. Rotini's the thin tubular ones, right?
I think it isn't.
Oh. No, that's rotini. That's rotini. For sure it is.
Rotini doesn't sound real. It sounds like a made-up pasta.
I'm thinking of penne is probably what I'm thinking of. I put a penne around my penne, and
hey! That was Kevin Sorbo's tweet of the week.
By the time that shower's done, it's ready to eat.
Nice wordplay.
Thank you. All right, so should we get into the Lion of Judah?
I guess.
That's a promising start. I mean, I guess. All right. Walking on the road to Jerusalem. Here we go. So, The Lion of Judah is a 2011 children's CGI animated movie about a bunch of barn animals that go to Jerusalem and see some pretty wacky stuff while they're there and learn some pretty gross lessons while they're there.
Yeah, intertwined with just musical interludes.
Yeah, like some dope music.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to keep the kids going, because there's a lot of groundwork they gotta lay for, Easter and the crucifixion.
and they barely lay any of it. It's like watching me do a Easter Stations of the Cross through a keyhole in a door on the other side of the room and going like, I think I get it. I think I understand what's going on. Jesus shows up, then they kill him. Why? I don't know. We don't get to that. Don't worry about it.
It messes up a bunch of stuff.
They do include one really bizarre choice, like one element of the Stations of the Cross that is like, why is this in here? Why did you choose to put this and have it be with this character? Like all of the stuff is just so weird. So, but anyway, should we talk about the amazing cast in this movie?
Yeah, it is star-studded.
It is. We got, like I mentioned at the top of the show, we got Scott Eastwood, a.k.a. the guy from the Fast and the Furious franchise, who they brought in to replace Paul Walker. And people went, we're not that interested in that. We don't really want that guy to be the new Paul Walker.
Yeah, Scott Aukerman.
Exactly. We also have Ernest Borgnine, The Simpsons' Ernest Borgnine, as a rat with a fat ass.
Ernest Borgnine.
Yeah, Ernest.
He's classy as heck.
Yeah. Well, I can't see his episode and not... I can't hear his voice and not picture the episode where Bart and Homer like join the Boy Scouts and they get lost like river rafting.
The thing I think about him is the basketball when he's choking on a hot dog. He's like the owner.
I've seen Basketball, but not in quite a while. I don't really remember a lot about it.
Well, he dies because he chokes on a hot dog, and he goes face up, and somebody gives him the Heimlich, and the hot dog keeps shooting out of his mouth but going back in, and then he dies.
All right, well, I guess I'll be watching Basketball for Easter Sunday.
Oh, it's a fun watch and Easter centric.
That's true. Yeah, it does take place at Easter. Are there many movies that take place at Easter besides like Easter specific movies? Can you think of any?
No,
that's a shame.
Not one.
Easter's an
The Lion King.
I don't think so.
Aladdin
does take place at Easter. That's true. Aladdin, as they're flying around the world on their magic carpet, they see Jesus get crucified, and they go, "Whoa, sucks to be you," and then they take off again. Like, we don't believe in you here. Blue.
Yeah, but you don't really get it as a kid. That's the thing.
It's very stylized. It's Iago. Yeah. It's the bird, and he's being like, "Rah, I got crucified."
Fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's fun. That's a good time. So Ernest Borgnine's in this, Scott Eastwood, and of course, when you think about God, when you think about Jesus, when you think about Easter, what's the one voice that you want to hear throughout all of that? That's right, Michael Madsen, star of Reservoir Dogs and No Deposit by Frank D'Angelo. It's a star-studded cast. He plays a crow. Raven.
No Deposit?
Yeah, he is in No Deposit. Yeah. He's great in it, too. He hates Jews. That's his whole character.
Very apt for Easter.
Exactly. Well, they did kill Jesus Christ. And according to some people, we should never forgive them for that. So, but me, I don't care.
Don't forget Bruce Maraschino.
That's true. Yeah. Who does he play in this?
Jesus.
Whoa, Hosanna. He plays him.
The King, Hosanna.
That's
right. My God, the amount of names this man had.
Oh, yeah. AJC, JC. We should have just done Jesus Christ Superstar. Like, this Lion of Judah movie was fine, but Jesus Christ Superstar, there was like an 8-year period where I watched that every Easter because it's dope as frick. The music is great. The costumes are great. It's awesome. Hey, here's everything I love about Jesus Christ Superstar. We're never going to talk about the Lion of Judah.
Hey, the guy gets crucified. There's a bunch of animals. Bada boom, bada bing.
Exactly. The last thing Jesus sees before he dies is like the cast of Barnyard standing in front of him.
And apparently the first thing he saw.
That's true. When he comes out, he goes, "What the frick? These animals are back. What the heck's going on? God, what are you doing? Why are you playing pranks on me?"
when he was born, those same animals were still there.
Yeah, what a mind fudge that would be for. So okay, in this movie, it's revealed. So there's a bunch of barn animals. Who cares?
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of barn animals: a cow, a pig, a rooster, a horse, and a rat. And the lamb, obviously, but the lamb's not really involved with this other stuff. Even though the movie's named after him, he's barely he's not even the main character at all. But it's revealed that all of these animals were there at the birth of Jesus Christ, and then 33 years later, they were there at the death of Jesus Christ. None of them look a day over 10. It's amazing. These animals are ageless.
Yeah, it's kind of a mind F. Do you think they traveled in time, or they're in like a pocket of time that doesn't exist?
Maybe, yeah, that would make sense. Maybe Jesus has a Benji Button thing and he just ages really fast. He's like Jack.
Yeah, well, he was born in that. I mean, it was a miraculous birth.
Yeah,
in
that's
that
true.
barn.
God cucked Joseph and knocked up Mary.
Yeah, maybe God had to slow time in that pocket of space.
That's true. Couldn't get room in the inn for him, but he could stop time for them.
Yeah.
He changed,
and that's what led to these animals still being alive in the same age and
that makes sense.
Being able to witness the crucifixion.
What a weird thing to like be there at the birth of somebody and then to see their death as well.
Ooh.
Like what a weird power trip that would be.
Yeah, that's a power only queens and kings should have.
Exactly. Do you think Jesus remembered them when he was dying on the cross? And he was like, I gotta be hallucinating. I'm seeing those same animals that I saw when I was born. The same pig with spit flying out of his mouth all the time.
He's the son of God or God himself. Of course he remembers.
Oh yeah, for sure. But like he's so nice to the donkey, but the donkey wasn't involved. Scott Eastwood's donkey just wasn't there. He was just like a rock and roll donkey who I guess lived in Jerusalem.
That should have been the title of this movie, is Rock and Roll Donkey.
Oh, well, yeah, I would like this movie a lot more if it was called Rock and Roll Donkey.
Yeah, he makes out with this donkey and
no, he just sensually hugs him, that's all. He just hugs him in a warm embrace, and the donkey goes, "Oh, Jesus, you're the first person who's ever nice to me," which I believe it. People didn't like animals back then. They beat them and killed them. And I mean, that's the whole premise of this movie. They meet a lamb. These barnyard animals meet a lamb who's like, I'm a lion, actually. Which, like, this lamb is so stupid. I hate this. I hate every character in this movie, pretty much. But the lamb is pretty dumb. He's way up there on the list. He's like, I'm a lion. I'm going to save everybody. And they go, actually, you're here to get sacrificed so men's sins can be forgiven. So...
yeah.
So,
to save everyone.
Yeah, shut your mouth and know your role. How's that sound? You got a room at the Jabroni Inn on, Smackdown Avenue or whatever.
Perfect way to say it.
Exactly. Thank you. What else? I don't know. What else is there to talk about this movie?
You didn't love the bad Chris Tucker impression that the rooster was doing this whole movie?
This rooster... If you want to hate a character in a movie with all of your heart and soul and just pray that they go, we're actually going to swap out the lamb for this rooster and we're going to cut his head off and just throw him in the gutter, then watch this movie and see this stupid rooster because he is the worst.
You didn't love when he gets stuck in the crate with Judah on the way to Jerusalem and he's like, I can't believe I'm in this crate.
Oh my God. He never stops singing. He's always screaming or singing, and everyone seems to hate him. Everyone around him is like, God, this stupid rooster. Like, I hate this rooster so much.
Yeah, he's like that younger brother that won't leave you alone.
Yeah, he's like Chris Tucker in The Fifth Element.
It's such a Chris Tucker character, but like leveled up to more annoying levels.
Oh my God! At least like I like Chris Tucker. I would like to hang out with Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker, if you're listening, we're gonna tag you on this episode on Twitter.
I would lay with him.
Well, you heard it here first. Jonathan Taylor would lay with Chris Rock. No, who is it? Chris Tucker.
Yeah, but respectively.
Of course, yeah. Like in two different beds.
Yeah, different covers.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just two boys hanging out.
Our feet would be touching, though.
Well, sure, of course. Do you think he's got nice toenails?
No, and I don't. I
Ooh,
definitely don't.
Well, fair enough then.
I don't give a frick about my toenails.
We'll
My wife has to deal with them, not me.
We'll post a pic. Yeah, she has to look at them.
Yeah.
Much like a shirt with bloody Jesus on it. The problem is for other people, not for you.
So, did they have 2 of those shirts?
No, they didn't. I bought it on Virage sale. I was just scoping through Virage sale and it came up and I went, I have to buy this shirt immediately.
I feel like that shirt is custom.
I don't know. I feel like it's a whole, I mean, somebody had to make it for sure. But I don't think it was.
Well, yeah.
It's
not divine.
I don't think it was like I don't think a person was like, hey, I have this sweet design that my tattoo artist won't tattoo on me, so I'm going to put it on a shirt instead.
Yeah, if you can't get a tattoo, make a t-shirt out of it.
If you can't get a shirt, like the fact that it just says "Born to Die" over it, so gnarly.
And it threatens the lives of people who do not believe in him.
Yeah, well, I love that worship the best is taken from Matthew 4:10, I guess, and then
There's no way that's true.
Or die like the rest is taken from Deuteronomy 11:16-17. That's a whole passage. Or die like the rest.
Is Deuteronomy even real? That sounds so made up. Like duty. Come on, Bible.
Yeah, duty. Come on, Bible.
You heard it here first.
Guys, I mentioned earlier that there was an insane part of the Stations of the Cross that's brought to life in this movie, and it involves that rooster. That stupid rooster. So when Jesus, so they all, okay, real quick, let's just fast forward through this story. All the animals are in the barnyard. The lamb shows up in a box. He gets put back into a box, and the rooster jumps into the box with him for some reason. They get sealed up and taken away to Jerusalem. So all the animals are like, we got to go to Jerusalem to save our rooster friend. We don't care about this lamb. We have to save our rooster friend. So they all go to Jerusalem, and then it turns out it's Passover, and they're going to sacrifice the lamb, and then Jesus shows up, and then he gets murdered. So that's kind of the whole story, and the animals witness it all.
Yeah, that's a perfect summary.
Is there any more to it than that? That's pretty much it. There's stuff with ravens, but who cares?
Yeah, the unclean raven crew, the gangs of the film, the villains of the piece.
No, I'd argue that man is the villain of the piece.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to think that the ravens are the villain of the piece, and then it turns out they're just some cool dudes.
They are some cool dudes who love to just like bully people and steal clean white sheets.
Yeah, because he had a dream.
Which I still don't understand what the clean white sheets were for. Like, like Michael Madsen plays the head raven, and he's just like, I gotta keep having this dream where I gotta steal clean white sheets, and we got all these clean white sheets. And then nothing becomes of that. It's just like, they just have a bunch of clean white sheets, I guess.
Was there some kind of reference to like stealing a bunch of wool and making lamb wool more profitable?
I don't think so. Maybe, but I don't remember that.
So they won't kill a lamb. They were trying to save a lamb, but in a peaceful way.
Maybe that's what it was for. Maybe. I started tuning out at a certain point. But he also says, like, we've been taking unclean sheets and making them clean, and taking clean sheets and making them unclean, and back and forth, and cleaning them and uncleaning them. It's like, why? I don't think your dream didn't tell you to do that. Why are you doing that? How are you doing that?
That doesn't make any sense. In his dream, Jesus or God or both says to him, don't call anything impure that God has made clean.
Exactly.
But what does that have anything to do with making shirts dirty and then clean and then clean and then dirty?
I don't know. I don't understand. I mean, God does say to him, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Also, just real quick, the reason I bring that up is because Billy Ray Cyrus, star of Like a Country Song, has a new song out, and it is a cover of Mama Said Knock You Out. And it is something else, I'll tell you that much.
Man, he's really leaning into the hip hop, eh?
Oh yeah. Well, can't nobody tell him nothing.
I mean, if you see a revenue stream, you just got to dive in Ducksworth style.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a duck blur.
Exactly. Hey, that's his life. Hey. What else happened? Oh yeah, so the crazy thing that I was talking about. So this stupid rooster who's always going like, "Corbin, my man," like he's just this like annoying screaming rooster who's always singing like slave songs. Like it's just such a weird. He's always singing like "Nobody knows the trouble I've seen," constantly singing that song.
There's 2 different slave songs that he sings, and it's not appropriate.
No, it's weird.
Yeah.
But he sings, and he's really annoying, and so they take Jesus into the temple, and then he's like, I'm gonna go fly up there. Whoa, cock-a-doo, I'm gonna go fly up there and see what's going on. Da, da, da. Like, that's not even an exaggeration of how he sounds. That's a perfect impression of how that rooster sounds.
Yeah, it sounds like this.
Yeah, oh, cock-a-doo-doo, and so he goes through this elaborate process to get to the top of the temple, and he gets up.
Yeah, he parkours up there.
Yeah, and it's pretty dope. He's climbing with his beak, whatever. There's a big crowd of people, and he's making his way through the crowd going, "Hey, get out of my way! Hey, get out of my way! Get out of my way!" And then over the din of the crowd, you hear somebody being like, "Hey, you were that guy who was with that Jesus guy, aren't you? Aren't you that guy who was with that Jesus guy?" And he's like, "I wasn't with that Jesus guy." Like, "You were with that, I saw that you were with that Jesus guy." "I wasn't with that Jesus guy." "No, you were definitely with him." "I wasn't with that Jesus guy." And then the rooster pops out of the crowd and goes, "Cock-a-doodle-doo!" And Peter's like, "Oh my God. Oh, he was right. Jesus was right. I was going to deny him 3 times. Oh." So this nightmare, awful rooster is the rooster they choose to go, that's the rooster that crows to tell Peter that Jesus was right and that he denied him 3 times. And that's the whole thing from the Stations of the Cross. So why did they do that? None of the other animals get any of that, but he gets it. It's just weird.
Well, you have a rooster. You're going to use him as he should be used.
That's true. Putting the cock in cock-a-doodle-doo. Am I right?
You said it first.
I mean, more like
And you'll say it
rock-a-doodle.
last.
Well, I might say it 10 more times. Who knows? I want to do a voice in a movie like this. I think this is like, if we could get PureFlix to give us a movie like this, I would love to do voice work for like a really bad CGI movie like this.
Yeah, that would be super fun. I could do the Chris Tucker character, I think.
Give us a little taste of it. Give us a little taste of Ruby Red the Rooster.
How'd I get in this crate? What am I doing in this crate?
That's good. That's really good.
It's not bad. I've been working on it for years.
Worth it. Since 2011.
Yeah, the animation in this film is top notch.
Oh, agree to disagree on that one. Sorry.
Are you kidding me? The horse's hair is just glistening, or the rat's hair is just glistening, or the owl hair is just glistening.
That horse is the worst looking CGI character I've ever seen. I thought its face was going to suck in and pop out the other side. It barely, I mean, it is a horse. To look at it, you'd go, that's a horse. But it's like a children's drawing of a horse. Like, it's just busted. It's totally janky. It's everything else. All the other stuff doesn't look too bad, but that horse is straight out of a nightmare.
It's more of a daymare, but I agree.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, we were watching it during the day.
I love the pig. I loved everything about the pig.
What's your favorite
I
thing
love
about
that
the
it
pig?
gets hooked up with the donkey and they get tied around a pole. These sentient animals.
Yeah, that's true. And they don't communicate with each other. They just walk around a pole and tie themselves up.
And then are stuck there for the entire night.
Yeah, that's true. The horse is also a fraidy cat. He's scared of everything, and he faints a lot because he's scared.
Yeah, horse fainting is funny.
It is. That's true. Yeah, it is funny. And he's also like, I love that they brought the horse along to like do stuff for them, but then they find a donkey who is immediately better at everything than the horse, and just like, horse, we need you to kick the lid off this crate. And he's like, oh, I can't do it. And the donkey's like, I'll just do it. And he just kicks the lid off, kicks the crate in half. He's just better than the horse. Get rid of that horse. Keep that donkey. Scott Eastwood's way better.
Yeah, the whole point of this movie is that donkeys are better than horses.
That's very true. Yep. And that the cost of sin is death.
The cost of sin is death.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be your death, though. It can just be any death. That's fine. You commit a sin, kill an animal. Good enough. We're right as rain with God. It's good.
For the wages of sin is death.
That was a good Dove impression.
Yeah. I think that was Drake. Like the Drake.
Exactly. Drake is in this movie as himself. He just shows up and dances. Drake. Yeah.
He like floats over the cross as Jesus is getting crucified and sings "Baby, baby, baby."
And he goes, "Hey, any 15-year-old girls in the crowd? Let me groom you."
Ooh,
shots fired at Drake. Grooming Millie Bobby Brown. You're a creep, Drake. You're a creep.
Ugh. Gross.
What else? I don't know. Like, you liked Horace. I didn't like the pig.
I didn't like any of these animals except for the rooster. I loved how annoying he was. I loved how inappropriate his voice was.
Fair
and
fair
the
enough.
songs that he sang.
Did you love that everyone hated him?
Yeah. I love the hate. I lick up the hate.
Shalom to you too, my friend, says the rooster.
Should we get right into this crucifixion and how scary those nail sounds were?
Well, first we need to talk about the doves that literally say to the animals, "We are martyrs for the Lord," in a kid's movie. And you go, "What's a martyr?" And they go, "A martyr is someone who dies for a good cause." Internalize that, children. A martyr is someone who dies for a good cause. That should make that your goal in life, to martyr yourself.
Yeah, what's a martyr? Martyr?
Oh, what's a martyr with you?
A joke they make in the movie?
Yeah, a million times, I think. I think the rooster screams it at them.
Yeah, they say martyr so many times, it becomes insensitive.
It's like Batman versus Superman, where they're both like, "You must be a martyr." And he goes, "Why did you say that name? Why did you say martyr?" Anyway,
I think his name is Martyr Madsen.
Oh, I think you're right, actually. Yeah. Hey, it's me, Martyr Madsen. I recorded all my lines laying on a couch.
That's the dream.
Yeah, that is the dream.
Although I am recording this on a couch, so I guess I'm living the dream.
Well, you're not laying down, though. You're sitting on a couch, so...
Yeah, ooh. I'm sitting like an idiot.
And I'm walking down the road to Jerusalem, so...
Oh, man, when all the animals can't read, that was a funny bit.
Oh, you want to say some of the words that they tried to say?
No, I forget all of them.
Yeah, me too. I think I specifically wrote down, I don't want to recreate this scene because they all say stuff that's...
I'm glad I brought it up then.
I think it feels like they all say stuff that's like borderline racist. Like they're just like putting on voices and doing accents and saying, and you're like, I don't want to recreate any of this.
Yeah, let's talk about Martyrs.
Exactly. Oh, have you seen Martyrs? What a crazy movie. Hey, this Easter, don't watch Martyrs this Easter. That's not a good movie to watch on Easter anyway.
It's more of a Christmas movie.
It's more of like an Arbor Day movie or like President's Day. Those are all good.
You know what they say about Arbor Day? It's a good day to put another condom on.
That's true. That's very true. Oh yeah, we want to talk about the Jesus stuff.
Yeah, the crucifixion, what we're all here for.
Exactly. That's true. Yeah. So all the animals are like in the city of Jerusalem and they're like, "Hey, what's going on over there?" And it's just Jesus like Jesus is dragging across through the city just getting beat by people, and they're like, "Why are they doing that to him?" And you just see him getting like punched in the face by like Romans. It's like ridiculous.
It escalates so quickly. It goes from like Jesus like patting down this donkey, being real nice to him, to him breaking into Jerusalem and like freeing a bunch of animals.
Yeah, he throws out the
And then-
moneylenders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you see him like just kind of getting taken somewhere, and then he's being crucified, getting walked to the cross.
My biggest disappointment with this movie is that the animals didn't witness the scene where King Louis I don't know, can't remember what king it is. But
King Louis?
It's not King Louis. It's not King. It might be Herod. I can't remember. No, it's Pontius Pilate. That's who does it. Pontius Pilate is like, hey, people of Jerusalem, do you want? I can set one person free on Passover. Do you want it to be Jesus, this good and holy man who is like a good person and everybody loves Jesus? Or do you want it to be this murderer Barabbas? And the people are like, Barabbas, we love Barabbas. Give us back our murderer. They didn't show that though.
Freeing Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was just too cool.
That was the thing about Barabbas, is he was known as the Stone Cold Steve Austin of his day. He was always
he had the leather vest on. He crushed beers in his hand.
So he was flipping off Pontius Pilate and
Barabbas. So this is my question: what did Jesus do? Why was he put on the cross? Was it for breaking out the animals?
No, I think it was because he's. Oh, are you asking me a Christian or are you asking me a viewer of this movie? Because in this movie, it's never made clear. It's just, hey, Jesus is here. Let's kill him. So, but I don't know. But in the story, it's because he was dangerous. He was threatening. He was threatening the harmony of all the like 1%ers of Jerusalem and of that country. He was uniting the people against all the tyranny and all the like bad stuff that was happening to them. And so all the people in charge had him killed to shut him down, but instead they made him stronger because he died and he came back to life. Yes.
What a dumb deal.
Yeah, it was a real Obi-Wan Kenobi situation where, strike me down and I'll return stronger. And then he did a Force Ghost.
Well, yeah, that's true. But that is not a good reason to nail a person to wood.
I mean, it's good enough.
Hang him up.
But they did it he was what do you call it? When they throw the book at somebody, when he's like, he was made an example of, and they were like, we're going to give Jesus the most brutal death ever. And then, but the whole thing was like, oh, I'm dying to save your sins or whatever. But like,
yeah. That was a cover-up.
Yeah, Pontius Pilate and King Herod didn't know that. They were just like, just kill him in the worst way possible. String him up, stab him in the side. Let him... He was on that cross for like days, if I remember correctly.
They probably got political blowback, and they were like, he died for your sins. Whatever. Make that into a thing.
Whatever. It's so funny to think about that, like, Jesus was horribly murdered. Then they put him in a cave and put a rock in front of the door. And then the rock moved on its own, and he got out 3 days later. But then he just, like, bummed around Jerusalem for a while and was like, what up, everyone? I'm back. And then he just... as a person, just flew up to heaven. Shoo, it just flew all the way up to heaven. Bye, Jesus. Just flew up into the clouds.
So that was my other question, is like, what happened to Jesus after? Because I either forget or didn't ever learn. He just kind of like chilled out and then was like, peace out. I'm up to heaven.
Yeah, he like went back to all his disciples and he was like, what up, fam? There's 12 of you. Well, 11 of you now because Judas is dead. Judas killed himself because he betrayed Jesus, kissed him, and then found out he liked men, killed himself. So he betrays Jesus. He's not a part of it. So there's 11 disciples now. Jesus shows up and is like, hey, they're like, you're not the real Jesus. And he's like, put your fingers in my hand holes. And so they do. That's literally how he does. That's how he proves it. He's like, stick your fingers through my hands. And they go, okay.
Yeah.
And they go, wow, you are the pan. And then much like Robin Williams in Hook, he learns how to fly. And then he flies away. Like, that's it. That's the whole thing. He's like, go around, preach my, talk my nonsense and get out there, tell people what's up. And then I'm flying away like Lenny Kravitz.
So Hook is a Christ story.
Pretty much every movie is a Christ story. Yeah. Any movie where someone learns to fly or dies or gets holes in their hands or whatever. It's all a Christ story. E.T., ultimate Christ story.
There's not a lot of other characters that got crucified. Like Home Alone never got crucified.
No. That's true. Maybe the bird woman got crucified in Escape from New York or whatever it's called. It's not called Home Alone 2 Escape from New York.
Escape to New York.
Exactly. I'm more of an Escape from LA man myself. That's a Jesus story.
Yeah, Escape from Georgia.
Ooh, there we go. Now we're talking.
Georgia Peach.
Yum. Thanks for making all of our favorite programs. What else? What else you want to know about Easter? I know it all. I got all the Easter knowledge.
Was there a body double involved?
No, man. Jesus died.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I am sure. Because the book told me Jesus died. He totally died. He said, "It is finished," and then he died. He said, "Finish me," and then and he was toast. Then they took him down. They washed him up. They threw him in a cave, rolled a rock in front, and then he came out. It wasn't a David Copperfield thing. It was real Jesus, real.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. The book, the 2,000-year-old book, told me that's what happened, so I 100% believe, without question, that that's what happened.
Do you think Slitheracci was responsible for original sin?
Wow. Asking the big questions on this Easter episode. Wow. Oh, that's something
I know, it's a big one. It's a lot to chew.
I'd never considered that before, and I'm horrified at the possibilities of that. But I am down to make our Slitheracci special, have Slitheracci go back in time and be the snake that convinces Eve to eat that apple and creates original sin.
Once he invents basketball.
Exactly. Yeah. He did it all. He invented basketball. He's the cause of original sin. He plays the piano. He wears elaborate outfits. He's Slitheracci.
Pianite.
Exactly. he's the original Renaissance man.
That's the tagline.
What?
Original Renaissance man.
Oh yeah. Why? Because he invented original sin, of course.
Yeah. He gave us our lives.
Exactly. Thank you, Slitheracci. Thank you for giving us brains in our heads. And, well, that's it, I guess. Thank you, Slitheracci. You are.
I mean, I don't want to give praise away from Jesus, but praise be to Slitheracci.
I mean, yeah, exactly. All hail Slitheracci. I want to make a golden statue of Slitheracci that I worship on the daily.
Yeah, that'd be worth going to hell.
We wouldn't go to heck because we made this podcast. So again, God will listen to it.
Right.
God is up there with his Beats by Dre headphones on, going like, "I love podcasts. I love them."
He loves this podcast.
Yeah, this is the only podcast God listens to. This is God's #1 favorite podcast. Well, I found a new Twitter headline for us. I mean, we're putting that on everything now. God's favorite podcast, Pure Boys. Prove us wrong. You can't prove us wrong. The burden of proof is on your side, people who doubt us. We are God's favorite.
It'd be crazy if we both got electrocuted right now and just like end record. Put this out. If we die suddenly while recording this, somebody put it out.
If you don't see a Twitter post about this, well, here's the thing. If we die, it's going to be a couple of weeks before anybody knows we're dead, because I've got a lot of stuff set up and ready to go for the next few weeks. So it's going to be at least a month before anybody suspects anything's up. So
did these guys get resurrected? That's not how time works.
What happened? Did Slitheracci come back and flick his little tongue at them and wake them up?
Okay, so as far as you're concerned, Slitheracci definitely caused original sin.
Yeah, of course he did. That's the whole thing. That's why he's so smart, and that's why he can play the piano, is because he's the devil.
That's why he's so smart?
Yeah, he's the devil.
No.
Yes.
No.
Slitheracci is the devil. Now it's canon.
No.
It's canon
That's
now.
Messed up.
Well, I mean it is, but that's Slitheracci for you. That's the devil works in mysterious ways. That's what they always say.
Is that your jacket?
Is that your Jesus? Is there anything else we need to say about this movie? No.
I kind of wanted to talk about the nailing of the ham.
Well, talk about it then. We got time.
Hammering those nails into the cross, and then it shows the animals reacting to that sound, and they're just wincing, and there's like 2 minutes of animals wincing and nails getting driven into a human being, and kids are supposed to be watching. violence.
Oh man, I looked up like good kids movies about Easter. Like I looked up a list of good like what are some good, because I wanted to see if there's other stuff like this that we could watch, or like what when we were trying to figure out what we were going to watch for Easter. I wanted to look up what are some good Christian Easter movies, and number one with a bullet on that list was The Passion of the Christ, which is the most violent movie I've ever seen. Like it's brutal. It's a R-rated gut punch, and they're like, show that to your kids. Hey, whatever. It's Easter time. They need to see the horrors of Easter, of course, and they need chocolate.
They need to learn about his sacrifice. Yeah, and how bloody it was,
and how dope it is to be a martyr, to die for a good cause. It's dope.
It's so weird to me that religion's just like so on board with violence.
Yeah, they love it. I mean, God himself is like, hey, people, like, I guess I invented sin or something. I don't know, whatever. I don't understand how sin works, but you know, if you sin, all you gotta do is kill something, and then your sin is wiped away. Well, how does that track? I thought killing was a sin. Just killing man, that's a sin. Kill all the animals you want. Step on a lamb's head. Who cares? Just whatever. But you do that, and you're good to go. All your adultery is gone.
It's a feedback loop of sin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
all you have to do is kill a lamb.
Yeah, and little did God know that people were getting a taste for death. As they were killing animals, they were like, I kind of like this, actually. And isn't it funny that God is like, hey, the world is too violent. There's too many violent people are killing people way too much. It's getting too violent. In order to solve that problem, I'm going to kill everyone on the whole planet and then start from scratch. We're just going to cause a flood, drown the whole planet, and then just wipe the slate clean, try it again. How do you solve murder? With more murder. That's the only way to solve it.
That's all they knew how to do back in 2,000 years ago.
Exactly.
Just murder for murder.
Well, it was longer than that. It was like the Earth is 5,000 years old.
5.
The murder happened. The big murder happened like in year 100 or whatever. Because it's pretty early Bible stuff.
It was the early scratch.
Exactly. He was like, you know what? You work out the bugs, right? Oh, first batch of people, way too murderous. Got to kill them all. Let God sort them out, a.k.a. me. And then we'll put some better people out there. Noah.
Yeah, like when you're playing an RPG and you just kind of bungle the character and just start all over again.
Exactly. And you leave one family of people left to repopulate the whole planet, and you don't ask any questions about how one family just made a bunch of people and just were banging each other, I guess. Like there's so many weird questions that are raised when you think about Bible stories. So don't think about them. Don't question them.
Well, one weird family, Slitherachie, and 2 of every animal that they could find.
2 of every, exactly. Not dinosaurs. They didn't make it on the ark. Bye-bye, dinosaurs. Even water
that's a
dinosaurs.
Trick to test our faith.
Well, exactly. We're going to lose our PureFlix sponsorship for this episode. We asked too many questions.
We asked some very sincere questions.
That's true.
And I think we came up with some very beautiful answers.
Remember the story where God was like, hey, kill your son if you love me. And the guy's like, I don't really want to kill my son. And he's like, well, do you love me? And he's like, all right, I guess I'll kill my son. And so he goes up onto the mountain. He's like about to kill his son. And God's like, I'm just kidding, man. You don't have to kill your son. But thanks for almost doing it. Like the knife was like he was about to stab his son in the chest, and God's like, just kidding, man, don't even worry about it. Don't kill your son.
Yeah,
but
it was cool of you to try.
Yeah,
but like, don't do it, man.
It's cool to know that you could and you would, but you know, I'm never gonna pull that card again. I might, we'll see, who knows.
He played a lot of power moves in the early days. Maybe that's why he's kind of like faded out, at least to the general public.
He's faded. He drank too much lean, and now he's just sitting on a couch, just faded.
Yeah, he drank too much lean.
Well, that's what he did on the 7th day. On the 7th day, God invented lean. He got too faded, and he had to rest.
Oh my God, it's so probable.
It's so probable. It's 100% likely that that's what happened. God is Lil Wayne, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, he invented Slitherachie, and then he was like, let's lean.
I love how you're like 2 of every animal and Slitherachie.
Well, Slitherachie's alone. Everybody knows that.
That's true. Yeah. Well, he's the devil, so. Hey, did you ever see that?
But the greatest accomplishment.
Go on. Was
of creation.
Oh, Slitherachie. Of course. Yeah. We should, you know what we should review for this show? We should review that Noah movie. Did you ever see that movie?
Oh, it sounds familiar. Like everything I say.
Right. It's Russell Crowe. He plays Noah, and Emma Watson is in it, Hermione Granger, and I can't remember who else is in it. But
is Noah deaf?
I don't think so, but I do know. I mean, he's dead. I'll tell you that much. But he lived to be like 1,000 years old. That's the other thing about Noah. Is he's like
cool.
He lived to be like 500 years old. Maybe 1,000 is too much, but that Noah movie is awesome, and people hated it when it came out. But they literally used giant rock monsters to build the ark, and it's like that's how they did it. God gave them giant rock monsters, and they built the ark with it. And you go, well, that's not far fetched, and everything else that we were about to hear. That seems plausible.
The rock monsters from Neverending Story.
Yeah, they all ride up on their tricycles and they help build the ark.
I saw that movie lately. It was pretty good.
I bet that movie holds up. Yeah. Hey, let's talk about our favorite movies that aren't The Lion of Judah, which we didn't talk about at all. Hey, this was we predicted this episode. We said that there would be an episode where we would not talk about the movie at all, and it turns out it was our Easter special, The Lion of Judah.
The hair is so greasy.
Yes. And
I'm starting to lose it, man.
Well, that's why we record it at 7 a.m, because it brings out a weird, like when we recorded at 9 a.m, we had a very sexual energy about us. When we record at 7 a.m, we have a very angry, like anti-religious energy about us, which is a bad energy to bring to our Christian podcast. We shouldn't be bringing that to this.
Yeah, we're really bringing the room down, I think.
No.
Up.
Might as well.
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah, hey, well, I agree to disagree, but I'm more of a Wall-E man myself.
I didn't like Wall-E.
That's crazy. Wall-E is so
too
beautiful.
many people in space.
You don't like that? You don't believe? Well, as a Christian, you don't believe space is real. I get that.
Dead air.
How do we wrap this up? Do we? Did we just wrap it up?
I think we wrapped it up. What did you think of this film overall?
It sucked.
I loved Ricky, or Rooster Ricky.
I don't think that was his name. I think his name was like
Dickie?
Torval.
Yeah, Porval.
Exactly. Porval goes to Jerusalem.
I don't know. I would probably give this 3 tears out of 4.
Wow. Tears from a cow as she watches Jesus. Oh, there you go. Hey, that weirdly enough, that song was written about a dead son. So that's kind of like a God song.
Yeah.
Huh.
Do you like that God's represented by an earthquake?
I do. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a pretty cool move. Yeah, because the lamb's about to get I really thought they were going to kill the lamb. I was like, as they were setting it up, I'm like, this movie is hardcore. They might kill this lamb. And then an earthquake saves them. And he goes,
after the crucifixion, you really think that this lamb is going to get caught.
Well, yeah, because it's like he's like a parallel to Jesus. Well, Jesus is the lamb. Yeah. He's the Lamb of Judah. So
I thought the knife was going to like jump out of the guy's hand and like stick in his eye. And there was going to be like a pratfall or something.
He was going to stab himself instead. Or you thought God was going to come down and go, hey, man, I was just kidding about killing this lamb. You don't have to kill this lamb. But it's good to know that you would kill him. But like, you don't have to. It's fine.
Yeah, sacrifice or stab thyself.
Right? Don't even get me started on the story of Lot. I told you it off air, and it's hardcore as heck. It's way too hardcore to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah, we've already gone hardcore enough, I think.
That's true. If we wanted to tell the story of Lot, we'd have to use some hard R words that I'd rather not say on a podcast. So that's right. All right. Hey, Easter, hug the ones you love close. Get them to stick their fingers through your hand holes. And watch Stigmata this Easter.
And keep your enemies closer.
And keep your stick on the ice.
I love you.
I love you.
We love you.
Pure Boys Podcast. You open your app, then listen to us, yeah. On and on and on. Talking Christian movies, 'cause it's just the Pure Boys Podcast. this song didn't get flagged by YouTube.
Pure Voice Podcast.
So we're good.
Pure
Great.
Voice
love it.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Shibidi-bidi-didi-doo.